There is a law in this universe just as certain, just as relentless, and just as mathematical as the law of gravity or the laws of electricity. It is the law of substitution. This law states quite simply that the mind cannot hold two opposing thoughts at the same time. You cannot, by any stretch of the imagination, maintain a consciousness of lack, limitation, and not enough, while simultaneously trying to demonstrate a life of plenty, freedom, and more than enough. Most people in this world are working for a living, in the hardest, most grueling sense of the word. They struggle, they toil, they manipulate, and they compete, and yet they wonder why the door to true, overflowing prosperity remains locked. They blame the economy, they blame their boss, they blame their education, or they blame the times. But the secret, my friends, the secret that every great spiritual adept throughout history has understood, is that the door to your success is never, ever locked from the outside. It is locked only from the within. Your current salary, no matter how small or fixed it may seem to be, is not a cold, hard fact of the external world. It is nothing more and nothing less than the outward manifestation of your current mental equivalent. What is a mental equivalent? It is the mental image that you hold of yourself and your place in the universe. If you think of yourself as a $30,000 a year person, the universe has no choice but to manifest exactly that amount for you. If you believe that you are lucky to have any job at all, and that you must cling to a mediocre salary out of fear, then you are vibrating at the frequency of fear, and the law of expression must bring you more things to be fearful about. You see, the universe is like a giant mirror. It does not argue with you. It does not judge you. It simply reflects back to you exactly what you are holding in front of it. If you hold a poverty thought, the mirror reflects a poverty experience. If you hold a success thought, the mirror reflects a success experience. This is what I call scientific prayer. It is not a matter of begging a distant God to change his mind about you. God is unchanging love and infinite abundance. God has already done his part. He has provided everything you could ever need or desire in the realm of the invisible. Your job is not to persuade God to give you more money, but to expand your own mental capacity to receive that which is already waiting for you. When you begin this practice, you are embarking on a journey of mental re-education. You are deciding once and for all that you will no longer be a victim of circumstances, but a conscious co-creator with the divine. You are moving out of the belief in lack and into the understanding of supply. This is the beginning of your freedom. This is the moment you stop looking at the fixed figures on a paycheck and start looking at the infinite resources of the mind of God. The abundance of the infinite is already yours. It is a finished fact in the mind of God. Your only task is to align your human consciousness with that divine reality. To do this effectively, you must follow a discipline that involves your whole being, your mind, your heart, and your very hand. The universe cannot answer a vague or wishy-washy request. If you say, "I want to earn more money," that is too imprecise. A $1 raise is more money, but it is likely not what you require. You must determine the exact figure that represents your ideal salary, the amount that allows you to live with dignity, to pay your obligations with joy, and to have a surplus for the beauty and refinement of life. Do not be afraid to name a figure that seems too high for your current position. Remember, you are not dealing with your boss's budget. You are dealing with God's budget, and God is infinite. Choose a specific number that feels right in your heart, a number that you can eventually accept as a normal part of your life. You will write this exact figure 7 times, one after the other. As you write each repetition, do not do so mechanically. This is not a punishment or a rote chore. It is a treatment. With each stroke of the pen, you must feel a deeper sense of quiet conviction. You must not beg. You must not plead. You do not ask God to please give you this money. Begging is an admission that you don't have it, and as long as you focus on not having, the law must bring you more not having. Instead, write with the calm, steady certainty of a child who knows that a gift has already been purchased and is simply waiting to be unwrapped. You are claiming your inheritance. You are stating a fact. Write it with the same level of confidence you would use to sign your own name, or to write a check on a bank account where you know for a certainty there is an inexhaustible balance. This is the science of prayer. You are using the written word to build a bridge between the invisible supply and the visible world. You are training your subconscious to accept a new normal. By the time you reach the 7th repetition, you should feel a sense of, "It is done." You have made your decree. You have planted the seed. Now, you must have the spiritual maturity to leave that seed in the ground and let the divine intelligence bring it to fruition in its own perfect way. Now that you have learned the foundation of the mental equivalent and the physical discipline of the sevenfold writing, we come to the most critical stage of the work, the law of non-resistance and the cultivation of spiritual silence. It is here, in the days following your initial sessions, that the demonstration is either won or lost. You must understand that once you have planted a seed in the garden of your mind, you must allow it to grow without the interference of doubt, resentment, or the prying eyes of the world. The greatest obstacle to your prosperity is never the economy, nor is it a difficult supervisor or a lack of opportunity. The greatest barrier is the presence of resentment in your heart. I have seen countless students perform their spiritual treatments perfectly, only to wonder why the money does not appear. Upon investigation, I always find the same thing. They are holding a grudge. You must remember the law of forgiveness. If you are resentful toward your current employer, if you feel cheated by your company, or if you are jealous of a colleague who received a promotion you desired, you are effectively tying yourself to the very state of lack you are trying to escape. Resentment is a spiritual poison. It acts as a heavy anchor that keeps your consciousness submerged in the vibrations of the old man. You cannot rise into the heights of divine plenty while you are busy hating. To receive your new salary, you must first release and let go. You must bless your current job, bless the building, bless the customers, and most importantly, bless the person who signs your current paycheck. Even if that paycheck is small, it is a symbol of God's supply flowing through a channel. If you curse the channel, you block the flow. Instead, say to yourself, "I bless this company and everyone in it. I am grateful for this channel of supply, but I now move into a higher realization of my abundance." By blessing your current circumstances, you dissolve the resistance that keeps you stuck. You become non-resistant, and like water, the divine supply will always find the easiest path to reach you. In the study of the mind, we find that 21 days is the approximate time required for the subconscious to accept a new suggestion as a fact. During the first few days, your intellect may rebel. It may tell you that this is silly or impossible. Ignore it. This is merely the old ego trying to maintain its zone of comfort. By the second week, the resistance usually fades, and by the third week, the new figure of your salary begins to feel normal. Once it feels normal to your mind, its appearance in the visible world becomes an inevitability. However, you must be careful not to pull up your seeds. Many people start the 21-day cycle, see a small sign of progress, perhaps a small bonus or a kind word from a client, and then stop. Or worse, they see no progress after 10 days and give up in frustration. This is like a farmer digging up his corn after a week because he doesn't see a harvest yet. Have the spiritual maturity to stick to your discipline. Your job is the treatment. God's job is the demonstration. One of the most vital warnings I can give you is this: keep your work secret. In the occult and spiritual traditions, this is known as the law of silence. When you are working on a spiritual project, you are building up a charge of mental energy. If you go out and tell your friends, your family, or even your spouse about what you are doing, you are leaking that energy. Finally, you must understand that scientific prayer is not a substitute for excellence. God works through channels. While you are writing your salary ideal, you must also be the best version of yourself in your current role. Do not work harder out of desperation. Work better out of the joy of your new identity. When you believe you are a high-value person, you naturally provide high-value service. Close every session of writing with a deep, visceral sense of gratitude. Gratitude is the amen of the universe. It is the acknowledgement that the thing you have asked for is already yours in the realm of the Spirit. Say it, feel it, and mean it. Thank you, Father, for my overflow. Thank you that Thou hast heard me, and that Thou hearest me always.